Time now for the CBS 3 Pet Project with animal advocate Carol Erickson at PSPCA. And Marvin's there. Is he awake this morning? There he is. Hey, Carol.
You know, this is his time to relax. He just loves when we do this segment, so he can just sort of lay on my lap and know where I am, which always helps with certain kinds of dogs. You know, today we want to talk about adopting the older pet, and maybe cats in particular today. And a lot of the information that I'm going to be giving on some of the reasons for an older pet will also apply to dogs, because it's just a lot easier in my estimation, and I've had them young and old, to have an older pet in the house. Are kittens and puppies absolutely darling? Of course they are, but they are non-stop activity, and you're responsible for socializing, for training, and making sure they're not getting into mayhem. I'm sure when you got Riley, you know what it's like.
Yeah, we got him on the younger end of the scale. He was still going through some of those kitten phases. You know, he was active for a long period during the day. I tend to like a cat that likes to snooze all day, so we had to get used to that. And there are other number of things that you have to get used to too, Carol.
That's exactly right. And, you know, and obviously because you have a cat, you don't have to be an older person to want an older pet. Sometimes you just need a little quiet in your house, and you'd love to have a low-key companion. An older cat is very definitely a good candidate for that, as is an older dog. You check them out, of course, ahead of time. Now, there will be some accommodations that you'll be wanting to make for these animals, because with an older pet, maybe they've got a little arthritis. Maybe you get some pet stairs. You get a little ramp for them to get up so they can get on that window perch. When you're playing with them, you're going to be using the horizontal scratcher versus the vertical scratcher, because that's going to be just a lot easier for an older pet to be able to handle. Also, remember, when you're adopting a pet, and we've got so many cats and dogs, Pennsylvania SPCA, just go to pspca.org and take a look at some of our wonderful animals. But just remember, our staff knows these animals, so we can tell you what they've been eating, the medicine they've been on, if they need any, exactly what their personality is like. So you're not walking blind into getting an older pet. You're getting a pet that has been, quote unquote, vetted out by a behavior staff. So that's why the Pennsylvania SPCA is a terrific place to go. Also remember that just like people, dogs and cats do need to have yearly and maybe ideally twice a year vet checkups. That way you can get on very quickly anything that might be a problem. So you know you're going to be getting in there. Their coat seems a little greasy, they seem a little weird, are they eating as much? You get a handle on that, and it's just something you kind of factor into the care of the animal. Also, when you get a cat and a new cat and an older cat, the litter box, make sure it's convenient for them, because if they've got some arthritis or they don't feel like moving around as much, it's very convenient to have their bathroom nearby. So many accommodations that you can make, but I'll tell you what, the accommodations you have to make are far fewer than the constant surveillance of a puppy and a kitten, darling as they are. I think you'll probably
They're easier,
agree with that.
Carol, just say it, they're easier.
Yes, a lot easier. Let's take a look. We've got a couple of wonderful animals, and more than a couple, up for adoption. Pennsylvania SPCA. I want to show you this little tiny girl. This is the little princess. Now, she is a very small girl. She's just a doll. Her tongue will hang out. She makes funny little noises when she's happy. She would love to be the only dog, and you can see why. She's a princess. She's only 3 years old. And then we have Milo. I want to show you a big dog. This dog is a puppy. He's only 10 months old. Do you love that beautiful white chest of his? He is absolutely fabulous. He's very well behaved. He lived with a family. He knows the ropes. He loves people. He loves toys, and he would love to get into a home that can handle the size of this dog and take him out for some very fun romps. And then we have Hummus. Now, here's a cat, if you were interested in that quiet, laid-back cat, adult cat. This cat is not giving up the age at all, because he's an adult and he doesn't have to. He was rescued by our humane law last month. He's a little bit shy in the shelter, but he's going to be adjusting in his new home. And, you know, and that's the other important thing. These pets that are adopted, these older pets, adopt to you very quickly, and they start to get and fit into the household very, very quickly. So something to think about, Jan.
Absolutely. And one other pro for getting an older cat, their personality is already established. If you get a kitten, you just never know what you might get. They might be friendlier, maybe, you know, more of a solo cat, as they say. So you know what you're getting when you're getting an older cat.
Totally agree, of course.
Thanks, Carol.